Well, it looks like Obama's pushing for a new weapons ban and mandatory background checks on all gun buyers. So that was the latest news. And yes, I saw a lot of different things out there about what some police chiefs are saying. I one up in, I think it was a police lieutenant in North Carolina, talking about martial law in 2013 or something. I don't know about that stuff. Sometimes I wonder about these people, how the hell they know all this stuff, because, or maybe they're just panicking too much. I think there's overall plans for that type of stuff too, but you got to be chill. And you know, Alex Jones, I got to give him credit because he went up with this thing about impeaching Obama. There's a lot of stuff, the Eric Holder deal and everything like that. Bringing in the guns to the Chicago area for the Mexican drug cartel. And then he wants to take away guns from everybody else. Yeah, he's a thug. That's all he is. Yeah, why not? So, but Alex Jones actually talked calm then, which shows you he could talk calm when he wants to. That's why I say he's a bunch of BS. He should be calm 99% of the time. I know he's going to blow his cool once in a while, but he blows his cool about at least 50% of the time. And that is not right. You know, but it goes on that, I'm just reading it right here, this laptop thing. President Obama proposed a new assault weapons ban and mandatory background checks for all buyers today, Wednesday, I think it's January 17, in a bid to channel nation outrage over just as they wanted, right? That's why it was a staged event. And I was reluctant to say that, and I guess Colorado was too. I guess, you know, really the way you're freaking have to really blow this apart with this whole charade is, and as a, you know, you're going to be accused of being a conspiracy theorist and insensitive to the children. I'm not sure how many people died, and I know some people say no people died. I don't know about that. But when they can't freaking even pinpoint what weapons were used initially, and your medical examiner saying that, and you know, where's the pictures of the dead children too? That's another thing. But you know, a little common sense is if Adam Lanza was using all these weapons and he shot all these children 3 to 4 times, as they said, and every single one of them was dead due to 3 or 4 gunshots, and that means he expended well over 100 rounds if every single one of them was hit. Every single round was a hit, which is to me is totally impossible. He'd have to be like the best shot in the world, and he's just some stupid kid that played video games down in the basement. He wasn't like an expert in weapons. So you know, he was basically just played video games, and he was a devil worshiper and all this kind of crap. They probably set him up for this whole thing. That's what I'm thinking. But, you know, the only way you're going to combat this is not to panic, because I heard about this martial law garbage 8 million times for the last gazillion years. And it's probably in the plans at one point in time, but if you make the event happen, then it will happen. You know, in other words, you can actually make it happen by your actions and overreacting and everything. The main thing is to just keep educating people. And you know, just watch with the anti-Semitism or anti-Jewishness or whatever you want to call it, because I know, like in some of the higher political circles, a lot of anti-gun legislation that has been introduced by Jews, but I don't know. Well, maybe Jews aren't as familiar with guns because there's more professional people that are Jews, but that's not necessarily always the case. But I think there are a number of wealthy Jews and powerful Jews in industry that realize that what Hitler did was to disarm the Jews first. And they're not for gun control. They're not for gun control. So definitely do not go anti-Jewish with this stuff and think it's some kind of Jewish conspiracy or some shit, because then you're an idiot, okay? You're an idiot. I know Feinstein's Jewish. She's an idiot. But that doesn't mean all Jews are thinking like Feinstein. God. Anyway, you know, the thing is, just you know, and I'm going to say this, you know, just chill out, just chill out. But you know, if they actually start coming at people, like say with drones and stuff, you got to remember a drone costs a hell of a lot of money, and it's not like they could just, you know, jump in a car and come after people with a drone. You know, it's not like that. It's expensive, and it's like, where the hell are they going to get all this money from, to tell you the truth, to run all this deal? They're not. They're not. They're going to have to actually get it from the people somehow, and that's another way to not cooperate with them. You know, there's always ways to scam them. It's just don't feed the machine. That's basically what it comes down to. But, you know, it's not like Obama, from what I'm reading here. This is actually off of Reuters.com. What Obama is saying is, like, he's proposing this. It's like he's not going to be able to do it by executive order. And I kind of think he could. I mean, really, come on. I mean, there would really be, there probably would be a revolt over that kind of garbage. You know, even in the military, the police, and everything else. You just can't do things by executive order. Everybody realizes this. But I also want to point out to something else. They say the anti-gun people. You know, the police in this country sometimes do screwed up stuff, but they could be a lot worse if the American people aren't armed at all. Really, they would be a lot worse. And, you know, this is the goal of the gun-grabbing crowd, is actually have just a productive slave class that isn't armed, that you can't do shit, you know, you can't fight back in any way. Just like, you know, in South Africa with the platinum mines recently. What did they do? You know, they were trying to, you know, strike about the platinum mines. They weren't getting paid money. And the police came there with machine guns and mowed them down. They killed them. None of the strikers had any guns or anything like that. And that wasn't like apartheid or anything. That was like, you know, the police were black and the strikers were black and all this type of stuff. But the they didn't have the guns to protect themselves with. So you could be, you know, they used to do this back in the old days too. They used to do this back in the old days. You know, they kill the strikers. So if you got no guns, you're screwed. You're screwed. So I don't know. I mean, I think there's a lot of exaggerations about this, but you know what people really need to be educated about in a calm fashion, that this was a staged event. Problem is, most people really don't give a shit. This I know, because I've been dealing with this for decades. You know, no matter how educated you tell them, they'll listen, but they really don't give a shit. They don't give a shit. They'll do nothing. Absolutely nothing. Even when they're concerned about it, they do absolutely nothing. So it's actually going to take a very forceful, vocal minority to push it. And that's actually what happened in the American Revolution. Most people at that time were loyal to the British, and they didn't give a shit, too. They didn't get involved in any. It was actually a very forceful minority that made the difference. So that's what it's going to have to be. But being a forceful minority, you're going to have to be, definitely, for a public image, you're definitely going to have to be calm. Calm, you know. You might have the teeth, but it doesn't mean you're going to act like you have the teeth. That's the thing. You got to be chill. You got to be cool. You got to give facts. The Sandy Hook shooting definitely, and it looks like the one in Colorado too, were staged events. And this is what they're planning all along. So, but the whole thing could really backfire on it too. Oh, big time. Big time. So, that's the one thing. It's all how you present the message and make sure you keep getting it out there, even though there's people that are a bunch of lemmings that don't think. But that's been like that even in 1775 and 1776. The people were like that too. So, I mean, so the minority's going to have to push this. And I just hope people that really support Obama realize, you know, it's guys, you're not supporting Obama anyway. You're supporting the people that pulling the strings on him. He really is a puppet guy. I mean, really, what else can I say? The guy really is a puppet. Like, literally. So, you know, even the Democrat insiders will tell you that he's a Manchurian candidate owned head to toe. So, don't even think about Obama. Just think about what these policies mean. They're bad news. Bad news. It's Nazi stuff. And he's going to be surrounded. I don't know if he did that thing with surrounding himself with the children or not, but God, this is like the Reichstag event in Nazi Germany. You know, these shootings. It's a scam. It's a scam.